Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? I hope and pray that you all will be fine, inshallah. Welcome back to Fishing Industry Unit 6 from your book The Environment of Pakistan. You need to comment page number 103, 104. Students, we have discussed the expected socio-economic benefits of developing fish farming and environment in our previous lesson. Today we'll start with some problems of the fishing industry. As we have discussed that fishing industry has some benefits, now there are some problems associated with fishing industry which need to manage. The first one and the most important is water pollution. That is the main problem facing the fishing industry in Pakistan, because pollution in the coastal area of Pakistan is mostly limited to Karachi area. That is a good thing that our Makran coastal area is comparatively safe with reference to water pollution. Although there are some international interferences because of oil leakage and etc., which can cause water pollution in Makran coast, but human interference is less in Makran coast as compared to Karachi. The Karachi Fish Harbour is severely affected by a variety of pollutants. Spillage of oil from the ships and domestic and industrial waste is causing great harm to our fishing industry, as you can see from these pictures. Oil spillage is there, bird is facing problem because of this oil spillage, and municipal waste is also there on coastal area that is causing. Then there are some research on water pollution, and these studies tell us that some chemicals, not some but many chemicals, have carcinogenic qualities. So carcinogenic qualities is something, carcinogen basically can cause certain diseases like cancer. It may be a substance in the air that can be in your eatables, in your food and drinks, etc., and that will transfer through certain sources. And carcinogens are asbestos, nickel, cadmium. So we are having these carcinogenic qualities and these carcinogenic materials, toxic materials, and heavy metals including cadmium, aluminium, and nickel found in our marine life. And not only marine life, not only on fish, but in crabs, shrimps, and lobsters also. These dangerous substances are also entering in food chain of the people and whose diet comprises seafood. When we eat that seafood, those diseases and those carcinogenic and toxic materials can be transferred to human body also and can result into certain diseases. In Karachi, coastal pollution is being observed, but unfortunately we are having not only water pollution in coastal areas but in rivers also. Water pollution is not only limited to Karachi, because rivers of Pakistan are also being affected, because we are having increasing population in Pakistan. Because of increasing population, industrialization is there, urbanization, as we have discussed in previous topics. So increasing population, industrialization, and urbanization is also increasing the amount of waste material that is being dumped into the rivers. So extensive use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in agriculture to increase the per capita per hectare production is another source of water pollution, as they leach into the river system. These chemicals leach into the river system. So in order to protect fish resources, a system of waste disposal needs to be developed so that pollutants do not enter the river and the sea. So these chemicals are leaching into river systems. What is leaching? So leaching is the vertical downward displacement of pesticides through the soil profile, and that finally comes to groundwater and in river water also. You can see from this picture that these nutrients can be leached, even some pollutants can be leached into river water, into soil also. This will be very harmful for the plants and for the vegetables and fruits which we use to eat. The next problem of the fishing industry is overfishing. So overfishing is associated with the fishing industry, that is the overfishing of shrimps, and even in the breeding season, that should not be allowed, and even that is not allowed. This problem is due to uh, the foreign trawlers, because this limits the production of shrimps. You can see from this picture also that a foreign trawler catching number of fish which are causing overfishing in coastal areas. So you can say that overfishing is the removal of species of fish from a body of water, either it is Arabian Sea or some other ocean or sea, at a rate that the species cannot replenish. So rate of catch is more as compared to rate of replenish or breed. So that will result into in the, that will result that these species will be underpopulated, and sometimes these species can be extinct. So overfishing is catching too many fish at once, and the breeding population becomes too depleted, or there will be less, and it won't be we won't be able to recover that population of fish. The next problem of fishing industry is threat to mangroves. So overfishing can be a major problem uh, for mangroves. We have discussed that mangroves are the protective layers, protective line on coastal areas of Pakistan. So mangroves act as a barrier that protect coastlines from high and low tides. The mangroves that are breeding ground for fish and shrimps cannot thrive well in polluted seawater. As you can see in this picture, that a lot of garbage is there. So if these types of waste mismanagement will be there, pollution will be there. So mangroves can be on risk, and they won't be able to provide an ideal ecosystem to marine life. The last but not least is lack of financial resources is a major problem in Pakistan, because Pakistan does not have enough capital to develop the fishing industry on modern lines. So in Pakistan, most of the fishing is done on traditional lines, which results into low output. So introducing modern technology will increase fish production, but it requires capital and skilled labor. We are having lack of investment, and skilled labor is also not available. Moreover, due to traditional ways of handling fish, Pakistan faces international restrictions by developed countries on its export of fish. That is a major drawback, because we are using in most of the areas, not in all, but specifically in Makran coast, like Divani, Gawada, not Gawada, Divani, Basni, Ormara, etc. These coastal areas do not have modern facilities of fishing, so old and traditional conventional methods are being used. That's why international organizations are restricting Pakistan fishing products. So that's why we are having unreliable income from export and low profit from the fishing industry that decrease investment and keep production low. So we need to invest in this sector, because it is having a lot of big potential to earn foreign exchange if we establish fishing industry on modern lines. Then our next topic is sustainable fisheries. As in previous topic, we have discussed sustainable forestry. So we know now that what is sustainable and what is sustainable forestry. Now we'll see that what is sustainable fisheries. Sustainable fisheries are sustainable development in fisheries mean that fisheries should be developed to increase the food production for the present age. Balanced and effective measures should be taken to ensure that fish populations are capable of growing and are accessible to future ages. So this is a chain from present to future, that we should have such steps which can save and which can protect our fishing industry for present as well as for future. So there are some factors which are responsible for the low performance of our fishing sector. We must know that which are those factors, so that we in future we can control those problems. The first one is overfishing, both by foreign trawlers and local fishermen. Because of overfishing, we are having less fish catch, and a lot of species are being extinct. That is a major problem that should be a deal on sustainable lines. Then catching baby fish, that is related to that, because overfishing is also involved catching of baby fish. Then use of illegal nets, this is also a chain from overfishing, from catching of baby fish, and the use of illegal nets which catch baby fish because of small mesh holes. Plus there are some illegal nets like gill nets which kill the fish also. Then the destruction of mangroves, that is also a major factor, which because of pollution, because of deforestation, overcutting of forests for domestic use and for some other purposes, and water pollution, that is caused by industrial as well as domestic waste, resulting in the extinction of fish species. So we need to address these problems as early as possible, so we can have a sustainable fisheries in our parks. The next one, now we'll see that what government efforts are there for sustainable development. So the not allow foreign deep sea trawlers to operate in the area of the Arabian Sea. That must be a major step. So because foreign trawlers are a major reason for overfishing. So it will not allow them to come to that area that controlled by Pakistan. So we can avoid overfishing and we can maintain a sustainable fish population in Pakistan. The next one is implement the laws banning the use of illegal nets. So these have small holes which catch the baby fish. So these nets should be banned. Then maintain the ecological balance by strict enforcement of laws against the cutting of mangrove forests and water pollution. So there must be laws against cutting of mangroves and water pollution. These laws will help us to towards sustainable fisheries in our country. We have discussed the factors or reasons which are responsible for the low performance of the fishing sector. Then we have discussed that we have even recommended some steps which should be taken for towards sustainable fisheries. And now we'll see that what will be the results of those steps in the way of development of fisheries on sustainable lines. The first advantage that will be there, that there will be more provision of food in the form of white meat that contain low cholesterol, vitamin D and other nutrients, and in this way our per capita consumption of fish will increase and more availability of fish food will be there. The next benefit will be that an increase in employment opportunities in the fishing industries. That will be a major boost in our industry. And in foreign exchange earning, an increase in foreign exchange earning by exporting raw and processed fish and shrimps to Japan, Sri Lanka and Middle East, as well as in some European countries and USA also. Then the training and education of fishermen by teaching modern technological skills such as use of gill netted, satellite navigation, the use of trawls of locating fish, etc. So in this way, we will have an opportunity to train and educate our fishermen, and will step in towards the usage of more technology in and satellite navigation in fishing sector also. Then the development of industries which are related to fishing, such as the boat making industry that will be developed, fish processing industries such as salting, canning, refrigerating, packing, and the next one is an improvement in infrastructure facilities such as better roads, electricity supply, etc. In this way, through sustainable development of fisheries, will be on the road to development of our country. That will be a milestone for all of us. That's all for today, students. Now this is time for worksheet, and question number 1 is enlist the problems of fishing industry in Pakistan. You will enlist over here the which are the problems. You will just tell that water pollution, overfishing, threats to mangroves, and lack of financial resources. Next question is how water pollution is affecting the coastal areas of Pakistan. You will tell in detail about that pollution at Karachi coastal area. And the next one is discuss the effect of water pollution on the rivers of Pakistan. That water pollution is being affecting coastal area as well as rivers. We will discuss both in these two questions. The next question is enlist the factors which are responsible for the low performance of the fishing sector in Pakistan. Over here, you will discuss those factors which are causing low performance like overfishing, catching baby fish, the use of illegal nets, the destruction of mangroves, water pollution caused by industrial as well as domestic waste, etc. And the last question is explain the term sustainable fisheries. You will tell that sustainable fisheries means that fishes should be developed to increase the food production and so on. Thank you so very much, students. Have a very nice day ahead. May Allah bless you. Allah Hafiz.